Hey everybody, welcome back to Real Talk Pelvic Health. Today we're going to go over some core strengthening exercises that I tend to do in the early postpartum phase or in just people that are needing kind of basic core level strengthening. If you're somebody that's over dominant in your rectus abdominis or your obliques, these would be good exercises to start with because they help kind of retrain the transverse abdominis, which is a set of muscles that is really more compressive. It's the deepest layer of our core. When it contracts, our pelvic floor should contract with it. It kind of is a co-contraction. It's where you start when you're treating back pain, pelvic instability or feelings of pelvic instability, and diastasis recti rehab. So go ahead and find a space on your floor. From here, you're going to find your pointy parts of your hip bones, and you're going to dig your fingers just inside those pointy parts of your hip bones. So that would be like this notch here. I'm going to dig my fingers inside that little notch, okay? So from each side, that's where you would feel the transverse abdominis contract. So you're going to take a breath in, open your mouth, and pull those muscles in towards your spine, okay? Under your fingers, you should feel the fingers sink down and kind of glide out. If you feel them being pushed up, you're likely kind of using the upper abs or the obliques from your sides, okay? So you really want to see these muscles pull down, okay? So this is relaxed, contracted, relaxed, contracted. It's super subtle, but it matters, okay? So if you don't have that, please spend time practicing that. So from there, once you get those muscles engaged, you're going to kind of breathe in your chest. You're not going to belly breathe while you're doing these exercises because that would be impossible, okay, to keep these tight and be filling your belly up and out with air. So from here, you're going to march one leg at a time, okay? The goal of this is to limit pelvic tipping or pelvic rocking. So a lot of people's pelvis will tip side to side or front to back. Please don't cheat and kind of roll your back flat into the mat. That's really going to overutilize the rectus abdominis. We really just want it to be compressive from transverse abdominis, and then your obliques will control that pelvic tipping just a little bit, okay? So that's level 1. I tend to have people work on that for 1 minute, 2 sets. By the end of it, you should just feel kind of a tensioning across the lower abdominals, okay? From there, you're going to straighten out your legs, okay? And I'll scoot over a little bit more so you can see me here. Okay, so you're going to, again, exhale, get that abdomen to sink down and in. Let these upper ribs kind of open up. Don't compress them down because that's going to push the belly up towards the ceiling, okay? The lower stomach should really be sinking in toward your spine. So from there, you're going to raise one straight leg at a time with the same idea, okay? You're not letting your pelvis tip side to side. But I'm also not, if you can see me here, I am not rolling my back flat into the mat, okay? I'm keeping a natural arch there. It's small, but I can fit my fingers there still, okay? So that's what I'm doing while I raise one leg at a time. So you can keep your hands on your hip bones and try to make no movement happen there while your stomach keeps pulling toward your spine. So you're going to do 1 minute, 2 sets of that one. From there, your knees come back up. Again, you're going to pull your low abs to your spine, roll your back flat, and then you're going to lift one knee up and then lift the other knee up without letting your low back come off the mat. This time you do get to tilt that back flat, okay? So I lift the second leg, and then I lower one leg at a time, okay? So I'm just kind of repeating that movement. You can alternate sides if you want to, but the goal is to keep the belly pulling towards the spine. If I lift up my second leg and my back does this, okay, arches, then I've lost some of my lower ab work there, okay? My abs aren't pulling my pelvis back to the floor like they should. If I lift up my second leg and I pooch my belly, I've lost the transverse abdominis contraction. So that belly needs to keep pulling to your spine, okay? So I have people typically do this one for 1 minute, 2 sets. From there, You're going to start with both legs up. If you're not ready for this, just stay at those first 3 exercises. It might take you a week to get good at them before you move on to this one. So from here, the closer you bring your knees to your chest, the easier it is. The further they are away from you, the harder it is, okay? And we preset already with the transverse abdominis contraction and the pelvic tilt back, okay? So I lift my legs, my arms come up. I'm gonna kick one leg out, raise my arms over my head, and then come back. And then I switch, kick and raise, and come back. So I'm gonna do this for 1 minute, 2 sets, okay? Keeping that pelvic tilt. So as we kick, a lot of us, you know, our back wants to come off the mat as our leg kicks out, okay? So we're avoiding that by pulling to the floor, to our spines, okay? If you need to, you know, lift up your shirt, put a hand on your stomach, make sure that you're pulling towards your spine, okay? So those are 4 good exercises to start with for level 1 core strengthening. I'll follow this back up with some level 2 exercises, but we'll just have fun and get started on level 1 today. So please ask if you have any questions. Otherwise, enjoy getting to know your transverse abdominis.